Hey guys, how are you? Welcome to Kittydori Papercraft. My name is Amy, and in this video I am sharing what is coming to my Etsy shop this weekend for an Etsy shop update. So I'm talking about this Sunday, September 22nd, and I've got some simplified Kittydories and a couple other things I'm going to share with you that will be in the shop this weekend. So I'm going to have a bigger than usual update for me anyway this Sunday. And first I will share with you the Kittydories. So this is another batch of my simplified Kittydories. So they aren't trimmed out and they don't have ephemera with them. So they're just the journal, and they're all tied with the vintage fabric ties. And none of these are tied. I just left them undone so I could do the video real quickly. And all of these have sort of a fall feel to them. They all sort of have fallish colors like rust and yellow and browns and reds. So that is the color scheme. And all of the papers inside are October afternoon papers. The bulk of my October afternoon papers are either, that just tend to be sort of like fallish colors, and Christmas papers. I have squirreled a whole bunch of those away over time since that company isn't around anymore. So I put those papers, the fall kind of vibe ones, in these journals here. And the insides of all of the covers feature papers from Maggie Holmes' Heritage Collection. So the pages are October afternoon, but the covers, the inside covers, are lined with papers from this Heritage Collection. And as always, I love Maggie Holmes papers, and I thought this collection really screams fall. I think it came out this summer, maybe even it might have been late spring, but I just love all like the mustard yellows and the blush pinks and this like really deep teal. And I love this paper for fall. So I have that lining the insides of all of these journals. So I will just kind of do a quick flip through of these so you can see what the insides of each look like. Each one has this exact postulette. So it's got a little pocket there. And Sears catalog page. There's several different kinds of ledger paper. Each one's different. This little doily printable from Little Bindi, and you could, I left them open as pages, but you could always tack the bottom down and then make it into a pocket here. Cookbook pages, so just all of the typical variety that I put into these journals, and each one has a vintage envelope in the center to be a pocket. So, and then you just see the backs of all of those papers. So all of these journals have 72 pages, counting front and back. So lots of space to journal and memory keep. So I'm just going to do each one really quickly. I love this fabric here. There was a shop called Sew Sugar, like sew as in S-E-W, Sew Sugar Beans. And she had the nicest fabric ribbon that she would sell. And she moved, and she closed her shop when she moved, and she was planning to reopen it, but she didn't. If you're still out there and you're watching this, open your shop again, because I loved her fabric ribbon, and I am almost out of the ribbon that I bought from her. I bought a whole bunch, thank goodness, but I'm almost out, and I really, I love these little fabric patterns that she had. Yeah, so here's this one. This one has like a nice like blush pink on the cover inside. And I think I used a lot of pages in the Sears catalog that were from like the home section. And this catalog I have is from 1967, I think, 68. And oh my gosh, the home section just, it cracks me up. Like I remember all these TVs. My grandparents had a TV just like that, you know, and has the little flip down section. Oh, I love it. Oh my God, the Sears catalog. Sears had everything, like anything you can imagine, like you would need for a household. Oh my gosh, I just looked through that catalog and it's just amazing. So different today, right? Look at this little dog. This is from Shy Little Kitten. I swear the dog reminds me of my dog. Such a derpy little dog. But I think he's so cute. I'm kind of a cat lady, but we do have a dog, and I love her. But boy, she is the dopiest little dog. And that little dog from that story reminds me of her. Our dog is black and white. And that one's black, but boy, such a silly dog. I'll have to get another copy of that book because I love that page. It's a great little vintage book. So, this one, I love the girls' outfits on this one. They really scream fall, I think. Same with this one. I love this one because it's got the little cat the little girl has playing with a string. Isn't that sweet? Sorry, that was out of the camera range. Sorry about that. So all this yummy October afternoon paper, page from the Home Blueprints catalog that I have. So in addition to these journals, I have 20 Ephemera Essentials packs. And I'm going to share those in just a minute. I shared them recently. I think it was on the last video, and I showed you like one as an example. But I'll share it again here in case you missed that. And now that I'm kind of focusing on making these Kittydoris a little bit simpler, I still wanted to be able to share the ephemera that I like to use in journals with you guys. So I'm including those in like a separate ephemera pack. If you are in need of ephemera, that would be an easy way to get it, to add to your journals. And I packed quite a few pieces of ephemera in the pack. So I'm going to share that with you in just a minute. Some of the journals have pages from 4 little puppies, and they have a lot of fall scenes in that book. So I thought they were appropriate for these journals. The thing I was going to do today, besides this, I wanted to share this with you guys real quick, but I had planned to film the video tour of my craft room today. And I wasn't sure if I was going to upload the video today, but I at least was going to film it. And something came up this morning that kind of hijacked my time. And I was waiting for someone to come, and they kept changing the time on me. So I was not able to, I needed to carve out a half hour or an hour to do my video tour, and I wasn't able to do it. So that's okay. Everything happens exactly the way it's supposed to, I think. So apparently I'm supposed to film the video tomorrow. So I am going to do my video tour tomorrow, Saturday, and I'm hoping to get it uploaded tomorrow, but if not, it will be within the next day or two. So that is coming really soon. And I'm going to share or show you just how I organize my craft supplies and my ephemera, and just how I have my room set up. And I've been talking with on Instagram with you guys about organization and just scrapbook supplies, because I've been hearing a lot, excuse me, from you guys, feedback from a poll I just put out this week asking what your #1 struggle was with making junk journals, if that was something you wanted to do and you just haven't done it yet. And a really common response that I got was that a lot of people said they feel like they have too many supplies, or they're not organized. And so I think that's kind of a great starting point. This tour will help maybe help kick off some more discussion about some ways that you can organize your supplies. And not that my system is the best, but it's just a system, and hopefully you'll be able to get something out of that. And before I put this down, I wanted to just share, I love this cover. This is a McCall's cover, and I haven't finished the backs of them yet. I love this cover because there's a little a girl of color on the cover, and they're very hard to find. Almost all vintage patterns are all white people, and there's not a lot of diversity in the patterns, especially the older ones. The ones in like the 70s and 80s, there are more, but it's harder to find in the older patterns. So I get really excited when I find one that has that diversity shown at least a little bit on there. And I love this one. I love their outfits. I love the illustrations on this one. So I really love this one. This one is a Butterick pattern. I don't use as many Butterick, and I think this is such a pretty paper. This is obviously from the Heritage Collection, also Maggie Holmes paper, but I think it's beautiful. What was I going to say? Oh yeah, Butterick. So yeah, I don't know. I just don't come across as many, I guess, that have illustrations that I really like. I really love the simplicity. My favorite ones are the, oh, let me grab it. Sorry about the camera. The simplicity at the top, because these were mostly like 50s and 60s, which are my favorite ones. And I love the illustrations on those especially. But there's other good ones too. Like I said, this one's Butterick, and I really liked the cover on this one also. And then McCall's, they've got some great ones too. So all of those companies are still around today. They are pretty much all the big ones, Simplicity, Butterick, McCall's, and Vogue. They're all owned by one company now. And the company is called CSS Industries. And they own all of those pattern companies under that one big umbrella. So, two more here. I love the teal in this girl's dress. It reminds me of the teal in this that Heritage Collection. So the inside of this cover is this really deep teal paper. I really like that. So hymnal page, writing paper, cookbooks, ledger paper, just a little bit of my favorite kinds of vintage pages. So when I've been getting replies to the poll that I did and putting out that question, I've been getting incredible feedback. You may have seen me do a little video on my Instagram, just filling you in kind of where I was with that, and just been reading all the responses. I've been writing every single response down. I'm keeping track, creating a spreadsheet and of all your responses, so I kind of know what information to include in the future, whether it is in a class I'm developing or future YouTube videos and tutorials. I think I'm going to also do some shorter things on IGTV. And I'm just getting so many great ideas from you guys of things that you would like to learn more about or just kind of talk about and discuss. So I've been getting a lot of ideas, and I'm really excited about where we are going to go with all of this. And I love that I get to go on this journey with you guys, you know, exploring junk journals, making them, using them, decorating them. So I think it's going to be a lot of fun. So those are the journals. And just real quickly, the Ephemera packs, I'm calling these Ephemera Essentials. And these are all folders that have ephemera inside. So I made the folder from the giant sewing pattern catalog, like the counter catalog that I have that's really big, and the pages are so big they make really nice folders, and they're holding ephemera. So I just have each of them tied with this sweet little pink and white baker's twine. And the insides of each of them are going to be pretty much the same. I put the same type of ephemera in each one. So there are 30 pieces inside each pack, and most of the ephemera is vintage. So it's just kind of one of each type of, and there's a little printed button card in each one. They make cute little journaling cards. But there's like one of each type of ephemera in here. And it's just a nice variety, I think. And they are not themed. So it's all like ephemera that would work in any style of journal. So that's why I'm calling it Ephemera Essentials. You know, playing cards and flashcards, labels, tags, postcards, bingo cards, flashcards, tags, and like a score sheet. So just a nice set of basics for you. Like I said, that'll go in any journal, and whatever the theme you might be working on. They're just some good basics. And I wanted to show you really quickly how you can also use the the folder that they come in. So it's not just the ephemera that is usable, but the actual folder itself. You could take everything out of it, and then you have a folder that you can add to a journal. So the easiest way, you can add it anywhere in your journal. It's nice to put it in the center, but let me grab, I made one up just for attaching inside of this journal that I have. And I'm going to just show you how I would do that. And I'm just trying to pick where I want to put it. Do I want to put it in the middle? I didn't actually plan this out before I decided to do this, but I wanted to show you just how you can do it. So I made these so they are 5 inches, or no, 4 and I think about 4.5 to 4 3/4 inches wide. So they will fit inside of a standard notebook, and you can just keep your ephemera in it, or you can take all the ephemera out and store it however you like to. And then you just have this great little folder inside of your journal, and you've got some pockets that you can work with. So you can put your journaling in the pockets, or you can use it to store like pictures and whatever you're using your journal for. So you can just kind of have it handy. And it just is another pocket for your journal. So what I would do is I would just use washi tape to attach it. And you probably have seen this technique before, but you can just use, I'm using wide washi tape. You don't have to use wide, although it does make it a little bit easier here to use wide. And let's see here. I'll just kind of tear it here at the top. I'm doing this kind of roughly. I would probably do this with scissors to make it a little neater, but and if you just washi tape it in on each side, it's like adding a whole new page. So that's another thing you can do after you've made a journal and you've sewn all the pages in. You can add pages to your journal by washi taping them in. And if you washi tape both sides, it's really nice and secure. So don't feel like you're limited after you sew a journal and you can't add anything to it. So just like that, you have 2 more pages in your journal. So I just wanted to show that to you. And the last thing that is going to be in my shop are some cheerful charm tassels. So I've got 4 of these in this colorway, and I chose this colorway sort of to keep the kind of fall theme going for this weekend that I'm doing in my shop. And this was inspired by those papers in the Heritage collection. So it's got like the harvest gold and blush pink and teal, and then the charms that coordinate. And each of the charm tassels this weekend have some leaf and pumpkin charms on them. So they're really great for the fall. I ran out of white yarn and I'm waiting for more to get here. So I only was able to get 4 tassels made out of the yarn I had left. So there will be 4 tassels. There are 20 ephemera essentials packs, and of course the 8 Kittydoris in my shop this weekend. And the update is Sunday night, September 22nd at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I will catch up with you guys really soon. Take care. Have a great weekend.